Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the final video that we will be in this reading journal. We are just going to do the flip through of everything that I've done in here this year, and then we will be completely moved on to my new reading journal, which if you haven't seen the setup video for yet, you should check it out. Let's get into this journal. So I have never actually filled out this title page. Perhaps I will at some point before I put it away. But we went with a really sort of simple setup for this year, just using a black Tombow and this sort of lettering style. So unfortunately, I never did complete a bingo in my book bingo. I was short here, and yeah, I guess that was the only spot that I could have got one. So hopefully we'll do better on this year. And I didn't really fill out this either. I just sort of ended up writing stuff down on my phone, which is fine, but I would like to try to use my TBR spread more this year, the one that I've set up. Then we have my book bracket, which I filled out in a video, so you should check that one out as well. We had Dragonhaven as the winner for the year. And then my books read, this ended up getting kind of, I don't know if you can see here, but like the paper is very wavy because I like ran out of the double-sided tape and I didn't feel like going to the store, so I just used white glue, which works fine for sticking stuff down, but yeah, it does tend to ripple the page because of its water content. But I did sort of run into a problem with this book shred spread because I didn't have enough space, so I had to kind of shove books in over here and they didn't end up lining up with the original spots. So as a result, you can see some of the brackets and one of the numbers. I might tape some paper over that to hide it, but also, I'm probably going to just put this book away and then not look at it that often, so it's not going to bother me. All right, then we have our series tracker. Oh, I haven't filled out this yet. Hold on. We did finish Rain Wild, so we can just go ahead and fill that in while I'm sitting here. As you can see, I misplaced the bright color at one point, but I found it again. But anyway, yeah, we finished Realm of the Elderlings. We made pretty good progress on Wheel of Time, and Malazan we just set aside to work on this year. Then we have Year in Review, which I just filled in yesterday. We have 71 total books, 31,801 total pages, with 70% of my reads being fantasy, and pretty good ratings overall, with a equal amount of 5-star and 3.5-star reads, and then a lot of 4.5 and 4-star. So we did good finding books that we liked this year, which is obviously important. Then we have my monthly spreads and book spreads for the first several months of the year, and I'm just going to go through these relatively quickly. I did show the first several months of the year in my mid-year flip through, so if you watched that, you have seen all of these spreads already, or if you've kept up with my reading journal videos, you've seen most of these or seen me set up most of these. So I will just page through pretty quickly. As you can see, I think it's interesting to see sort of my style change as we go through this journal, and I really sort of find my feet. So like at this point, I'm still doing like multiple books per page and like up to 4 books per spread. But as we get into June, I think it is, where I was stopped doing that, we get a full page, sometimes a full spread for one book. And June is also where I started doing like that the book spreads would have elements that match the original spread. So we've got the paper and the flowers that tie back to like my home page, I guess, monthly page, I don't know. But I really liked how that made each month feel like a cohesive thing. And then you can incorporate elements from the book into those pages so that each one feels unique but still ties back to the monthly theme, which I really enjoyed. And ever since I did it that month, we kept it going forward. So here I'm using mostly like borders, but also just sort of like stained glass kind of style in the decorative elements, although this is not, but you know. Anyway, we are moving now into August. I don't think August would have been in the first half flip through, but for August we did a sort of Patronus inspired theme, which was inspired actually by another piece of artwork that I had done, and I just wanted to reuse it. I like the way it looks. I didn't get the proportions on the deer perfect, but you know, they're good enough. Pretty happy with how they came out. I don't really know what happened to I think the paint kind of got scuffed by the opening and closing of the book, but oh well, it is what it is, I suppose. So this one I definitely didn't use as much of like the thematic elements from the title page, and mostly just stuck with the elements of like the color, although I did try it here. For the most part, it's just like using a lot of blues and stuff. And then we're moving into September. I really like this sort of like fox emblem. I'm not the happiest with how the layout for my month in review went, but I do think that the green and orange and then like animal elements worked out really well. This one, I like it in theory, but I think I would have preferred to use like a different, I think I would have preferred it if my writing was neater, maybe. I don't know. Something about this just didn't quite work out the way I wanted it to, but I'm really happy with this part. And I think I want to try to include more quotes moving forward, because sometimes I don't know what to put in the space, and sometimes it's just nice to be able to remember some more specific elements from a book than just like my general feelings. October, this is a theme that I have previously used in my bullet journal, and I really like it. I just think the style is so cool. So I decided to pull it forward into my reading journal, and it worked really well for some of the books that I read this month. So for example, Sapiens, you know, we could do a skeleton. He has a tiny head, but we don't have to worry about that. And then I really like this banner style. I might try to use that sort of bannery element more moving forward. And then this is probably one of my favorite pages. I think this turned out really well, and so did this. And I like, if I was gonna change one thing, I might reduce the amount of writing or make this like taller or something, just so that it feels more balanced, or give it more space on the side perhaps. But overall, I really enjoyed it. But overall, I'm really happy with the way this one came out. And I was starting to get a handle on how I wanted my printing to look. So that was an improvement. And then Frankenstein, this one's good. Not any color. Maybe I should have tried to incorporate some green in here, but overall, I still think I like it. It's a little, I don't really like having blank pages, but I don't think I'm going to go back and add anything to that now. It's a bit late, I think. And then November, we had like a coffee sort of time theme. You know, we got also teas and baked goods and stuff. So not specifically coffee, but I would definitely call it coffee time. And going with a more like traditional bullet journal kind of font, I would call this. And this one was kind of difficult in terms of getting the elements to incorporate into book things. So like for City of Brass, I just went with like the color scheme, and the circular element, I did end up using like a T. This one's supposed to be T. It's hard to tell the difference really for Kingdom of Copper, just because pretty sure Nari likes to drink tea, or is it coffee? I don't know. Whichever one she likes, we can just pretend that this is that. But then for Murtagh, I was like, I don't really know how to incorporate this at all, so I just used one of the colors and drew some dragons. And then Guns, Germs, and Steel actually worked out pretty well with the theme. I went with the circular elements and like the way they came onto the page, but I made them into germs, you know. And then City of Dragons, again, just using a circular element and the colors to sort of match it to the theme. And then we were into December, which I had just posted the filling this in on my channel, so feel free to check that out. I won't spend too much time on this, but I did sort of like an elven architecture theme, mostly in terms of like windows. And then for this one, I cut out the space behind the window so that you could actually turn and look at the full drawing of this little castle in the night and like a frozen lake. And then we are using just like the arch theme mostly throughout, as well as the green color. So we got Blood of Dragons, and this actually uses the vine element from the front, and then using the architecture elements for Knife of Dreams and Legends and Lattes. And then the final spread which is for Blaine itself and Empire of Gold, just using the sort of arch and vine styles to contain elements from the books. So that is everything in my reading journal for the year of 2023. I have had a lot of fun putting this together, and I hope if you have been watching my reading journal videos on the channel that you've had a lot of fun seeing it come together as well. I am happy with how it turned out overall, and I'm glad that I've sort of found this sort of style and thematic choices that I like, and that I'm going to be able to carry that forward into my 2024 reading journal. So yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me in the year of 2023. I hope you will stick around for 2024 and my new reading journal. But that is all that I have time for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.